Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, in the UK, right now, we are going through the wettest day on record, which is no mean feat, because yesterday was the wettest day on record, and we got it on good advice that tomorrow will be the wettest day on record, and then the next day, and the next day. We've got incessant rain of biblical proportions for 2 weeks now. It is battering down. I am not looking forward to the Roxy Walk later on. We're going to be drowned rats. Not good, not good. But our good friend of the channel, good mate of mine, Cristiano Dior, no, the other one, has just flown off to Spain. Hey, he went stupid. Him and his Mrs. Cristiano Dior, have gone off to Spain. But not before he dropped this off. He dropped off a lovely A2 size poster for Outland. Yes, Sean Connery in space. Outland, a film we all know and love. A film that I reviewed extensively only recently. Cheers, Cristiano. Don't forget to get some more Spaniards involved in the Kilty clan. Let's spread to another country. We've got Australia, we've got South Africa, we've got America, we've got South America, we've got France, we've got Germany, we've got loads of countries. Let's get Spain on board as well. Hola to all the new Spanish subscribers. And I'm wearing, this is a t-shirt which was sent to me by, you know him, you love him. No, that's the wrong catchphrase. It's actually your friend of mine, Astrodyne, a traveller in time. Astrodyne. He sent me this a while ago and I've worn it quite a bit and it's fucking sensational. It's emblazoned with Scotland everywhere. You've got the saltire, the flag, you've got the rampant lion, more saltire, and you've got the thistles. Oh aye, the thistles are all there. And you've got, if you look here, it says Kilt-Man Macanini. Now I've got no idea what kind of sporting shirt this is. It's not a football shirt. It's not a rugby shirt. It's not a hockey shirt. I'm not sure what kind of shirt it is. It's just a bloody good shirt. So thought I'd show that off. And of course, well, the rampant lion. If you look on my kilt buckle, there, the rampant lion is there. Yes. Cheers, Astrodyne. Cheers, Cristiano. Oh, mangled my own words there. So folks, today has been remarkably depressing. I've spoken to various people today without setting foot outside the door and crossing the drawbridge, and everyone's super depressed. The weather is really bad. The news is really bad, and the prospects are even worse. So I thought, well shit, what can we do? I'm gonna brighten the day somehow. So well, there's no new films to talk about. Well, actually there is, but nothing that I can review. And I thought, well, why do we do a new thing on the channel? Like a Monday movie madness, or a Monday movie mania, a Kilt-Man mad movie maniacs Monday. I don't know, something for a Monday, for it is a Monday right now. And I thought, well, okay, why don't we do like sort of roundup of the movie news, like forthcoming stuff, and every Monday just do a little sort of like, this is what's coming next, this is the news today, this is that, and blah 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 blah, just for the sake of it. Get us out the doldrums and like get us in tune with what's coming down the tinsel road towards us. But first of all, I will try to deaden the toothache I am suffering with at the moment, just to add to the depressing note. What? Oh yeah. Off to a good start, Kilt-Man. Yes, you're bringing things down again with your own toothache, your own woes and troubles. Cheers, y'all. Painkillers. And a bit of jazziness. I'll talk about this score in a wee bit, but there's a reason for it playing. Right, look, I've just reviewed the film The Substance, which I thought was magnificent substance, and Demi Moore Margaret Qualley, Dennis Quaid, the body horror of Hollywood, and I gave an extensive review, and it's getting great reviews across the board, and people I know who've seen it have loved it. People who've reviewed it on other forums have raved about it. I'm not wrong, folks. The film, as I said, is genius, and I urge you to see it. It's on general release right now in the UK and the US, although some people have said that it's not playing in a cinema near me, at least not yet. I'm not sure why that is. It's on every cinema around there, the Wirral in the Northwest and Merseyside. It's on everywhere. So it's definitely on general release, and it's well worth seeing on the big screen. It's retina seducing, stomach churning, and sphincter tingling and ball busting, but it's got everything. It's one of the most intensely perfect movies, from talent, from technicalities, from production to art to special effects to music, across the board. It wins on every count. I said in the video, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It won't be. It's going to be controversial, troubling, disgusting, nauseating, probably a bit too on the nose for some people, but I was intoxicated by it, and I cannot wait for a UHD of it. I cannot wait. It will get one as well. So anyway, but go and see it at the flicks if you can. It's well worth it. Watch half of my review first. I did it mullet style. The first half was non-spoiler. Second half is all spoilers, but I give you fair warning. But take my word for it. It's an experience. It's a ride. It goes gonzo bonkers, but in a good way. So, what else have we got? Well, in movie news, Manic Monday movie madness. Ridley Scott, Fiddly Ridley, what's he up to now? Well, another trailer for Gladiator 2 drops today, apparently. If it has dropped already, I haven't seen it, but it's apparently going to drop today. We've already seen a hell of a lot. The last trailer was fucking epic and huge. I'm not even sure I want to see another trailer, to be perfectly honest with you. I am not that excited about Gladiator 2, despite, you guys know, I'm tattooed. I have an entire Russell Crowe costume, authentic from Russell Crowe, from the first Gladiator. I have spears, swords, shields, arrowheads. I've got all sorts from that movie, and I love it. But it ended. It ended. It did. And apparently, you know, with the rather contrived ending, Quintus, free my men. Marcus Aurelius had a dream that was Rome. It shall be so. So in other words, the arena and the games will be all abandoned. Well, that doesn't clearly happen. Totally negating, you know, the glorious sacrificial ending of Gladiator. So you get Lucius, Lucilla's son, oh God, you know, getting his chance in the arena to avenge himself. Is it Paul Mescal? Is it Paul Mescal? I don't know. I really don't really care. And you've got Pedro Thingamajig, the Mandalorian. You got him there. You've got Denzel. Denzel, you know. And promises war crazy carnage and games aplenty. Sharks and ships in the arena. People riding rhinos. And you've got all that. So that's coming. But what's Fiddly Ridley said now? Oh, I'm going to do Gladiator 3, right? What? Gladiator 3? You haven't even got this film released yet. You don't know if it's going to make enough money and garner enough interest to fulfill your dreams of Gladiator 3, which seem to have come out of fucking nowhere. Gladiator 3! And he's already said, well, I mean, okay, it's kind of a given. Well, I don't know if it's a given, but, well, it is now. That Paul Mescal, that Lucius is going to win overall, and he's going to aspire to having an empire. That's basically what Ridley Scott has said. So he's given away the conclusion of Gladiator 2 right there for you. Oh, spoilers, but Ridley, you did it. And he said, well, the idea is, I was thinking of The Godfather and Michael Corleone. and how he suddenly inherits this empire, which he doesn't want and doesn't know what to do with. Ridley, have you seen The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2? Have you seen it? Michael Corleone comes into his own and relishes the power that he has. That's the fucking point. He goes against his values and takes on the mantle of the family and becomes, the Godfather. So, The Godfather, right? I've seen that, right? And I thought, well, Lucius is going to become the Michael Corleone of the ancient world, right? But he's got this power, this empire. Doesn't know what to do with it though, right? Michael Corleone knew exactly what he was doing. That's the fucking point of the transition and the evolution of the characters in that story. Ridley. How old are you now? 87? Yeah, something like that. You're fast approaching 90. Yeah, at the moment we all feel like we're fast approaching 90. But Ridley is a fucking roller coaster. He will not stop making films. And to be honest, why should he? This is a guy that gave us Alien, Blade Runner, Legend, Black Hawk Down, Gladiator, so many others, but a lot of shit as well. In the last few years, what? Gucci, shit. Napoleon, mad. Absolute mad. And I've got not so high hopes of Gladiator 2 now. I just don't. I just think it's unnecessary, unwarranted. But I can guarantee you, if I have a great time with it, I will really celebrate it. I will, because Joey, do you like films about gladiators? It's Kilty actually, and yes, I do. I do love sword and sandal epics, historical epics. And he has done them in the past before. Oh, there's The Last Duel as well, which I really have to reanalyse. I do. I really can't comment on that because I think I was exceptionally pissed when I watched it. And we've got it on glorious 4K as well. But anyway, such is life. Kingdom of Heaven, fantastic. Ridley can do great stuff. He can. But it does seem like he's in a sort of race against time to make as many movies as possible. Are we going to get The Martian 2? You know, White Squall Part 2? Anyone remember that? You had White Squall and you had Black Rain. Black Rain was great actually. You had Hannibal. He's done a lot of movies, and but they're not all magnificent. But he's earned enough of our adulation and praise, with only a handful which have been, well, I consider them masterpieces. They're cult classics. They're of their genre, and they shaped the genre. Or in the case of Gladiator, it brought back a much older genre and made it valid and important, because it led to the likes of Troy and 300, both of which I truly adore. And his own Kingdom of Heaven, and then he did Robin Hood, which is enjoyable. I've reviewed Robin Hood. I've reviewed Troy as well, and 300. I'm sure I've done all these movies, but this now does seem to smack of, I'm on a time limit. The clock is ticking down, and I need to get more of these projects out. Maybe it seems easier to him to revisit older stories where he's got standing sets in Malta for the Colosseum, and he's got half his production crew are back again from Gladiator. So maybe some of the cast as well, but maybe that's what he's thinking. I haven't got to really reshape anything here. Just tell a different story set in an environment that I've already told, I've already immersed myself in, so it should be easier. Like fitting into a well-worn glove, you know? Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But what I don't like is people saying, and you get this all the time now, oh, I'm making this movie and it's going to be the first part of a trilogy. How many times have we heard that? Too many. And I was like, well, is Gladiator 2 hasn't even come out yet? And you know, it might go either way, but Gladiator 3, yes, I can conceive the story. I know where he is at this point, giving away the ending of the original, the second part. Why? Because it's easy, I suppose. And he better get cracking on it. If he's going to do Gladiator 3, all the sets are there, everything's there. He's got that. It's in the bag, but everything is still there. You can bring that production crew back again. Get started, Ridley, because, you know, as much as you think you're virile and alive, and with it, right? Anything can happen. Anything can happen. At that tender age, he might be a big go-getter, a workaholic. It keeps him going. And he might go on for another 10 years. You never know. Look at Clint. Clint's 92, 93. And still busy-ish. But age shouldn't mean anything. It shouldn't condemn you. It shouldn't pigeonhole you or box you into a corner. Experience means a lot. But he's just churning films out. He's still got a Western he wants to do as well. A Ridley Scott Western. I actually love the idea of that. So stop fucking about in the sounds of the arena and go to like Death Valley. Do a John Ford style fucking revenge and Apaches and cavalry. God, I'd love it. See him do something like that. Bring Demi Moore back from The Substance. You had it in G.I. Jane. And Vigo. Vigo was in there as well. Master Chief, suck my cock. She says to him. Having known Navy SEALs, none of them were too pleased with that movie. They went. I just dropped the lid to my whiskey. Prophetic? Kilt-Man. You don't need the bottle top to the whiskey. Just keep swigging it. Cheers, y'all. But Gladiator 3, let me know what you think about the ideas of that. And he's done sequels before, we know. Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and obviously Gladiator 2. So he's done sequels. So he has revisited old work. So I do think that there could be some seeds of highly professional, Hollywoodized dementia taking place with Ridley. His belligerent attitude towards journos and critics is it's wrong. He's too affronted easily. Doesn't accept criticism. You know, well, were you there? Well, Napoleon did not fire cannonballs at the pyramids. Well, how do you know? Were you there? Right? Were you there? Right? Were you? Were you? Well, no, but we know he didn't. But he could have done. Right? Whatever, Ridley. Fuck off. Right, what's next on the horizon? Terrifier 3. Folks, I'm a massive fan of Damien Leone's extreme gore, nasty fucking horrors. Terrifier and Terrifier 2. I reviewed both of them. And wow, Art the Clown, played by, let's get his name right, David Howard Thornton. It's a new terror titan alongside Frankenstein's monster, I should say, Dracula, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Pinhead. He's up there. He's right up there. Leatherface. He's right up there. In only 2 movies, he's become like, and a short movie as well, which was what spawned Terrifier. And Damien Leone, just, what a great name. Damien, for one thing, you know. It's all for you, Damien. And Leone, as in Sergio Leone. And he's made they're practical effects, well, they're mostly practical effects. And wow, the gore is off the scale. The violence is truly jaw-dropping. The first one, a naked girl hung upside down by her ankles with her legs parted and sawed all the way down through her nethers, right the way down to the top of her noggin. And much more. And then in Terrifier 2, yes, the bedroom attack. But it's Art the Clown, and no matter what despicable deeds he does, it is truly, genuinely. You cannot. He's charismatic at the same time. You cannot. What's he gonna do next? I don't want to see it, but I can't tear my eyes away. And that's genius to do that, to make a really graphically explicit, nasty, horrible, gratuitous, exploitative movie where audiences are just like drooling for more and demanding more, and yet, oh God, they're getting upset by it and traumatized, but still, give me another one. The thing about Terrifier 3, he kind of expanded the mythology of Art the Clown, the background. Who is he? Where's he from? How's he got these powers? You didn't learn anything. It just kind of showed you there could be a door which could be opened to reveal more about him. And apparently he has done a bit more expansion of mythology in Terrifier 3. Terrifier 3 opens October the 11th, not too far away. It's only literally a couple of weeks away, really. But I'm looking forward to that. There's a double bill of Terrifier 1 and 2 playing in the UK. I'm sure it's going to play in the US as well. It probably is in the run up to this. And of course, Terrifier 3 is set at Christmas. So why are they showing it at Halloween time? Well, because it's Halloween. And also, it gave them access to a great tagline. Terrifier 3, Christmas comes early. Damien, I salute you, sir. Art the Clown, I salute you, but I want to keep my fingers and my arm and the rest of my body intact, if you don't mind. But yeah, gore frenzy and exciting stuff. If it goes beyond Terrifier 3, I don't know, I mean, it depends how far he expands the mythology. I'm kind of hoping he doesn't go too far. Let's find out a little bit more tantalizing stuff about Art the Clown. But either kill him off, or you leave yourself in a predicament where we know this film goes way beyond the first two, which were beyond anything you'd seen before, and this one goes further. A fourth one would have to go even further again. How would you do that? Would it be like Demons, Lamberto Bava's Demons, with like what you're seeing on the cinema screen comes to life, it actually attacks you. Art the Clown would come off the celluloid, or off the digital screen of course, and suddenly be slicing and dicing and laughing and cackling and doing his manic sort of Marcel Marceau impersonations whilst cavorting around your own entrails. I don't know, because I'm kind of hoping this will be the finale. Don't like things going on too far. Right, what's next? Well, Salem's Lot. Gary Doberman's. Well, I was going to say ill-fated, but it's not ill-fated. It suffered the ignominy. That word I can never say. Ignominy. It got kind of banished and pushed to one side. Warners were like not interested in it, like this is shit, we'll shelve this, like Batgirl. And then suddenly, it got a resurgence. We're going to play it this date, then we're going to play, no. Now it's going to go straight to Max. On, I think it's the 11th as well. I think it's the same day as Terrifier 3. So it's going straight to Max, so streaming. And I've discussed it before several times, and the trailer I was impressed with, and I actually do have a reasonably high expectation of thrills and chills and scares, and a nicely tight version of Stephen King's rather Leviathan novel. I love the novel, but as I've said many times, you're condensing what was 2 3-hour mini-series, Toby Hooper and then the one with Rob Lowe and Rutger Hauer, which is nowhere near as good. But Toby Hooper's version, 1979, is an absolute unparalleled classic, full of genuine scares, jolts, jumps, great atmosphere, and good performances. and great actors in it as well. James Mason, and David Soul, and a young Bonnie Bedelia. Remember in Die Hard, where she, this is what it's all about. You're just a common thief, And like Alan Rickman's Hans Gruber, like, I'm an exceptional thief, Mrs. McLean. And since I'm moving up to kidnapping, you should be more respectful. And he throws her down, and she goes like that, and her top bursts open, and suddenly she goes, and this cleavage, which you didn't know existed, suddenly comes into view, and you're like, Mrs. McLean, or Holly Gennaro, if you rather, when we book our hotel room away from your hero in his wife beater. Holly Gennaro, let's stick with that. She was amazing. And Toby Hooper's Salem's Lot, which you can see there, right there, is still the pinnacle. It is one of the best adaptations of anything Stephen King has ever done, without a doubt. Kubrick's The Shining, I love, but of course Stephen King himself doesn't. But King liked that version, but because it kept in all the soap operatics. Now Guy Doberman's version, and he's directed it, and he's done the screenplay for it as well. With the time length, it's only like 113, 117 minutes. There's no way on earth you can have all those backstories and subplots taking place, and that might not be a bad idea. This will be a streamlined, almost 30 Days of Night. Some of the imagery looks like 30 Days of Night, and I'm way looking forward to this now. This was going to be a travesty, which Warner's were like, this isn't working, so we're just going to ditch this. But I think word of mouth and like the huge sort of fan base backlash made them like rethink things. I don't know, I'm just assuming that, but something changed their minds. Now, the final trailer dropped yesterday, and again, we do not see Kurt Barlow, the Nosferatu. Him, played by Reggie Nolder in that version. Rutger Hauer played him in the other version, but he played him as Rutger Hauer. Wasn't with the Nosferatu makeup at all. But as I said in the previous video about Salem's Lot, the 2024 version, I said it was Alexander, I forgot his name, Alexander Ward, who is a very skinny, his face goes in like that, like Peter Cushing, like Reggie Nolder. He is going to be wearing that makeup, and he is playing Kurt Barlow. So, now in the new trailer, which if you go on YouTube, you'll see a big close-up of the Nosferatu face. Well, I've watched that final trailer a couple of times, but I haven't like analysed it. But there's a couple of shots where you think, is that Barlow? Sort of just whack, but super fast. Could be, might not be. I don't think they put him in there, but it still looked good. I am way up for Salem's Lot. I didn't think I'd be saying that. I really didn't. Until that trailer dropped, I was kind of like, this is going to be a nasty, stupid version. It's going to lose so much. It may still be sort of dislocated and just all over the show. A hodgepodge of scenes and sequences. I don't know, but that's 2 trailers now, and I've liked them both a lot. So, a Salem's Lot. So, I'm looking forward to this. Now that's on October the 11th as well. I think I'm right. Okay, the reason why I'm playing this is Christopher Komeda's really, I don't know, baroque, unusual, jazzy, haunting, chanting score for Roman Polanski's 1968 satanic classic Rosemary's Baby, based on Ira Levin's classic novel. Now, Rosemary's Baby, Mia Farrow and John Cassavetes move into this brownstone apartment in New York. Lots of very friendly but weird, off-kilter neighbours, and things happen. The girl that was in the apartment opposite died, mysteriously. A drug addict who plunged from the 7th floor, apparently. But you know what it's about. She's going to meet the devil and have a right old time. They're going to get it on. And then she's going to have a baby. Yeah. And he has his father's eyes. It's a classic satanic cult, devil worshipping, pure creep out movie. Genius. Roman Polanski back in those days was unparalleled. But I love the movie. I think it's a sensational film. I've yet to cover it properly on the channel, but I will do at some point. And this score is extravagantly brilliant and unsettling. But it's a done deal. And it also, people say it ushered in the satanic genre of the 70s. Well, it had a lot of satanic movies and witchcraft movies during the 60s anyway. Loads and loads of them. I've covered many of them. Night of the Eagle, Night of the Demon, well, it's 50s. But you've got all of this sort of stuff taking place. Hammer ventured into like, the Devil Rides Out and all this, and other witchcraft movies and Satanism movies. But after Rosemary's Baby, which was a big budget A-list movie, you got the likes of, well, The Exorcist and The Omen. So now you've got a prequel to Rosemary's Baby called Apartment 7A. Now this has been dumped to Paramount Plus. This is coming out in a couple of days' time, September 27th. Starring Julia Garner, who's, that name rings a bell. She's in a werewolf movie. Is she in the Wolfman or Wolfman remake, which I've covered a lot, coming in January next year, 2025. And it's directed by Natalie Erica James. It's played at Fantastic Fest already to mixed reviews, some very downright bad reviews. I think everyone said that Julia Garner gives a great performance. Now, what it is, it's a prequel to the events of Rosemary's Baby. Julia Garner plays the girl, Terry, the drug addict, a failed actress who ends up in this apartment and falls under the spell of this coven who are trying to bring forth the devil's baby. And for whatever reason, which we're going to find out in this forthcoming movie, she will be held to her death from the 7th floor window. Do we need it? Do we fuck? Why, oh why do we have to go back to give prequels to already fantastic movie masterpieces? Why are we doing it? We did it with The First Omen, going back to one of my favourite movies of all time, The Omen, Richard Donner. Covered it and its sequels numerous times. And I covered The First Omen, which I actually really enjoyed. Until the fundamental errors that it made, it turned good guys into bad guys and bad guys into good guys, and it gave Damien a fucking sister. What the hell? What the hell? You completely retconned the original movies. Why? And it was another female that made that, whose name I have forgotten. No, not my notes. But I have covered this movie a lot. And it's something Stevenson, if I'm right, Andrea Stevenson, Andriosh Stevenson. I'm making things up now. And it's a woman making the prequel to Rosemary's Baby. We didn't need a prequel to the Omen. You didn't need it. What was the fucking point of that? Do you need a prequel to Rosemary's Baby? An already perfectly encapsulated story and narrative with shocks and twists and turns and a fabulous, completely, oh my god, denouement, where she actually, it's her baby, and she does, instead of being horrified, she's going to respond to the baby and look after it. And it's, do a sequel. You could say the sequel is The Omen. No. Oh god, a mashup. You can imagine some, I bet they've thought about doing them. I bet some stupid dickhead studio execs have pitched ideas. Well, maybe she gave birth to Damien, and then something happens to her, and then Damien gets passed to Robert Thorne, and fuck off. Rosemary's Baby is uniquely unsettling. It's of the 60s, but of the late 60s, and it embraces the sort of the mystique and the eccentricity of the occult, of coven members, of witches, warlocks, and Satanists, and how they, they lurk behind every door in an apartment complex, or behind every house on the street. It could be anywhere. I've discussed this before. I've discussed my encounters with Satanists and devil worshippers. Same fucking thing, Kilt-Man. We went to a big do, and full of these people, and me and Mrs. Kilt-Man, and it's a good while ago, and we were advised by certain members of the entourage, so you're talking to so-and-so, don't, keep away from them. There's good and there's bad. Just because we believe in Satan doesn't mean that we're evil. I got told all this, because I'm fascinated by all this, as you are as well. I was like, well, you really do this shit. You sacrifice stuff, and you slit ravens' throats and pour blood into a chalice and drink the blood, and you do sort of orgiastic ceremonies, right? As Ridley Scott would say. But there was divisions amongst them. They weren't like, look, no, don't go near them. They're pretty bad. They could have been lying. The devil is a deceiver. So maybe I was going, oh yeah, well, yeah, there is something about them. I won't go over and speak to them again. You're right about that. Yeah, I can see he's only got 3 fingers and they've all got claws. He's got cloven hooves. You're right. But they could be the ones who are saying, they're actually all right, but you stick with us, we're really bad. So, apartment 7A. I am going to watch this. I am going to watch it. But, as I've said repeatedly, it's unnecessary. We do not need to know the backstory of Terry, who plunged to her death. We've already got are they going to rewrite that? I don't know if they have. Unlike the first Omen, where they did retcon everything, but Terry plunges to her death. Oh, she had an overdose. Yeah, okay, because she's the one who's meant to be. As you're going to find out in this movie, she's the first one, or not the first one perhaps, but the one before Mia Farrow's Rosemary, where it's a big success. Look, we've got to get the devil to get it on with you, and we got the devil's son and all that, like, oh god. But it fails with Terry. So unless they change the ending, or rather the beginning of Rosemary's Baby, then we know what's going to happen. See what I mean? What's the fucking point? What's the fucking point? Oh dear God. Cheers, John. Anyway, so what's next? Let's talk about Rosemary's Baby and Christopher Camida's soundtrack, which you're hearing right now. Here's something which, at first I thought, you're kidding me. And then I realised, it's not actually a remake. It can't be. And then I thought long and hard about it, and I thought about who's making it. 1962. From David Lean, you had one of the seminal cinematic masterpieces. I've used that word a lot lately, and you shouldn't just throw it around, but in this case, it's inarguable. Lawrence of Arabia, Peter O'Toole as British Lieutenant T.E. Lawrence goes out to Arabia. They want to try to thwart in the First World War the onslaught of the Turks, but he takes things a lot further and tries to unite the Arab tribes to rise up and form their own nation and take out the Turks, which he does. But he goes against orders and becomes this huge ideological and philosophical, moralistic figurehead for a campaign. And the British Army don't like it at first and then realise, shit, doing good stuff. But then he becomes too big for his britches and things happen. It's a sensational movie. Peter O'Toole plays T.E. Lawrence, in such a highly stylized, idiosyncratic way that it's not a real depiction of the real guy. It's highly stylized, and his encapturing of that persona and that character is extraordinary, and it's riveting to watch. Peter O'Toole, fabulous actor, but you could ham it up a lot as well. And maybe he teeters, perhaps there's a thin borderline, a thin frontier where he goes to a point and you think, oh God, he could just, but he doesn't. And it's that finite razor's edge which makes his performance here absolutely perfect and totally scintillating. It's a long movie. It's an epic movie, filmed beautifully by Freddie Francis, not Freddie Jones, Freddie Francis, and brilliant score from Maurice Jarre as well, who obviously learns a thing or two about deserts because he'd also go on to do Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. But a fabulous movie. I'll be honest, and I think this is intentional as well. All the opening first act of Lawrence of Arabia is bewitching, intoxicating, clever. The dialogue is clever, the characters are clever. Omar Sharif's entrance is outstanding. Everybody is brilliant in the movie. But whenever he goes back to like Cairo and the British headquarters there, things go and like very staid and humdrum, and the British officialdom is there. He escapes the quicksands. They've lost one of the guys with him. Again, like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, very similar in fact. He gets sucked down and Lawrence is trying to pull this poor kid out, can't do it. And then they arrive there, they're dressed in all their Bedouin gear. They manage to get to Cairo. They get into the big British headquarters there and they stride through and they go like, my God, get out of here, you know, disgusting degenerates. Yeah, the racism comes into full play. And he's like, no, and is that, my God, is that you, Lawrence? What the hell are you doing? And they go to the bar and they like, I want 2 glasses of lemonade. Like, well, get him out. No, he's staying. You drink your lemonade. I'm getting the lines wrong here, but he's like, no, the lemonade is for him, you know, and he stays with me. And it's a truly beautiful moment. But it stamps out the fact that you leave the desert, which ends up being hostile to him anyway, despite the hero worshiping all these tribes, and he leads them to victory, but they can't stop infighting. Well, there you go, folks. The story of the Middle East, North Africa, and tribes. This is what happens. It has always happened. It always will happen. But at least he tried to make a difference. And he had a life beyond Arabia as well. Well, his life was cut short, to be honest, in a tragic motorcycle accident. He loved, he was like the Steve McQueen of his day, you know, fast cars and motorcycles and just excitement and adventure. You know, he was a thrill jockey. Anyway, as classic and multi-award winning as that movie is, and as complete as you think it is, they're going to remake it. Oh, by the way, there was a sequel made to this in, oh God, a TV movie in 2010, I think. I haven't watched it. I can't comment on it. I do not know. I've heard nothing about it. So it can't be that good, can it? Anyway, this is a pet project to remake Lawrence of Arabia by none other than the world's greatest, no. The world's shittest filmmaker of all time, Roland Emmerich. Oh, but Kilty, he made Stargate with your hero Kurt Russell. Yes, he did. And I thought it was... He made Independence Day. Wow. Which I thought was... He made The Day After Tomorrow. He made 20,000 BC, 10 million BC, well, fucking hell, whatever, with the big mammoths and, oh dear God. He made Universal Soldier, which I really enjoyed, but that's just a generic action movie, that, with a few sci-fi overtones to it. But Roland Emmerich is not a good director. But apparently his pet project, his dream desire, has been to tell the story of Lieutenant T. Lawrence. It's not a movie he's making. Oh, no. And this goes back to people saying like, oh, I'm making this movie, it's coming out, it's the first part of a trilogy. Don't ever say that. Oh, we're going to make more. This is Guy Ritchie with his King Arthur story. This will be the first one of 10 movies, Guy Ritchie said. And I like Guy Ritchie, and I like that movie. I like his King Arthur. I really enjoyed it. No one else did, though. But don't big yourself up. I'm making 10 movies. You made one, and it was a fucking bomb. You know, oh, it's gonna be a trilogy. Like, oh God, I'm not saying his name. DGG for Blumhouse and Halloween. It's gonna be a trilogy. Fucking disaster, as far as I'm concerned. They made money, but critically, shite. And then Exorcist. Oh, we're gonna do The Exorcist. Exorcist Believer. This is the first of the trilogy. Fucking died a death. I hope I was part of that. I hope I was one of the ones that hammered some nails into that fucking coffin. Because what a disaster that movie was, and what a shit director of horror he is. So, don't be bigging these things up before you've made them. Make them and see what the critical response and the commercial response is. Well, do people want another story? Brilliant. Anyway, back to Roland Emmerich and his Lawrence of Arabia dream project. He said, it's not a film, it's on TV, it's a TV show. 3 seasons worth. 3 seasons worth? Of what exactly? Of what? If a film which is like 3 hours 42 minutes, which is David Lean's original movie, told a really, really in-depth, fantastic, although sort of highly stylized and ideological version of the real events. It's not entirely accurate, but it's enough to convey what Lawrence achieved and what he wanted, what he dreamt of. But no. Roland Emmerich, no, 3 seasons worth. 3 seasons. And he's called it In Arabia. In Arabia. And he's going to, okay, Lawrence was there for quite some time. And a lot of incidents happened. David Lean's film does leave out some things, but mainly what it leaves out is just parlaying with other tribes and moving to this settlement and getting them on board, and then this settlement didn't like our ideas, so we had to leave them. But there's no other great, real, momentous moments that can be related. But if that's his pet project, I'm not gonna. Who am I to say, like, you want to make it, then you go ahead and make it. But I just know that you are not the guy for the job. I apologise, Roland. You've made a lot of movies, but most of them have been utter pants. They have. I stand by that. And you're going to attempt a real-life historical, a biographical story of a very important figurehead who changed policies in certain territories and areas and in the British military hierarchy, made a name for himself, was a renegade, but his stuff, his plans and his ideas were recognised, and we should have done that ourselves. But if it goes wrong, he's our scapegoat. And that's how the military works, it's how politics works. So there's a lot of stuff there, but it is covered in the movie. If he's got access to all of the tomes and diaries and memoirs and everything that's been written about T.E. Lawrence, and he's going to make that a really highly detailed and finitely chronicled version, then yeah, okay, but you're not the guy for the job. You like spectacle, and the spectacle that he puts into his movies is really, really naff. Oh, Independence Day! Wow, the special effects was shit. Even back then, was it 1992? Was it 19? I can't remember now what year it was. But I sat there, totally unenthralled. Wow, the White House exploded. What? But the fucking visuals were shit. They didn't fit at all. Oh, and dragging the alien carcass with the big stupid outsized head. Why has it got a big fucking diamond-shaped fucking head? What's the point of that? It's not diamond. It's the Starfleet Federation. They were shaped like that, weren't they? Will Smith, call that a close encounter or fucking whatever, Absolute fucking shite. Did he do Independence Day 2? Whatever that was called. I don't know if he did. I don't care. But Roland Emmerich, I'm afraid, you stink. As always, I'll caveat this by saying that, if it comes out and it's actually great, then I will say that it's great and I enjoyed it. And if I'm wild, I will sing its praises. I love the film Lawrence of Arabia. It's an experience, and it's a fulfilling one. It's not your conventional war movie made in the 60s. There were many war movies, and but it tells a highly detailed analysis of a very strange character. The height of eccentricity, the height of self-belief, and if I can unite the tribes and make a united Arabia, they'll be a force to be reckoned with, and we could unite with those, and we need them. But the infighting, and of course, what happens to him when he gets captured by Ferrer, not Miguel Ferrer. No, it is Miguel Ferrer. I'm sure it is. Who's the Turkish official, and they captured him, and of course he's white when they disrobe him, and yeah, they do. He is abused, and it changes because he's always been one that don't kill anyone, don't kill unnecessary people. Capture them. Don't arbitrarily kill everybody. Which of course, all these tribes, it's just blood, frenzy, crazy, dismember, he's don't do that. Be humane, be compassionate. But after he gets unceremoniously seen to in a very uncompassionate sort of manner, and they catch up with the retreating Turkish army, who ransacked the village and left women and kids butchered. It's like, no prisoners, no mercy, and he's fucking killing with his Webley, kill them all. And again, for its time, it is explicit. It certainly hints at what's happened, and there is blood and carnage there, and death aplenty. So it is for a big, multi-Oscar winning, highly critically applauded movie with big stars, and it's festooned with the biggest stars imaginable at that time, and it looks majestic. So it's an A picture with absolute gloss and sheen and star power and a wonderful script, but it is its own thing. It's not. It breaks with a lot of the conventions of the war movie. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, Roland Emmerich is not remaking that movie. His get out clause is like, well, T.E. Lawrence existed, so I'm going to tell a much bigger version of his story. That's fine. That's not a remake. That's an adaptation. That's a take on a real guy's life story. That's not a remake of the original movie. But people will think of it as that, though. And again, I build it as that because that's what it's talked about as being a remake of Lawrence of Arabia. You can't do that. Well, as I say, is his escape room is, look, it's not a remake of that. I'm telling my version of the real guy's story, and there's a lot more that film didn't put in. But I'm still like, you're not the man for the job. You're ham-fisted, too overt, too on the nose, too in the face, too highly shitty effects driven, filmmaker. Have you got the nuance to bring out great performances, to elevate something, to have a literate script? I mean, I know Lean's version was a literate script. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. It could be just realistic dialogue, and I know, but Roland Emmerich doesn't do that. It's all arch fucking stereotypical cliched fucking jargon, and you know it is. The lullaby, so effectively used in horror movie soundtracks. Brilliant, isn't it? I'm trying to think of another one now. I mean, just drop that there. What other lullabies are there? Oh, the Amityville Horror. And I've just thought, and I didn't make a note of this, there's another Amityville movie on the way, or in the works. Amityville, where evil lurks, or where evil dreams. I haven't made a note on it, but I have seen this mentioned. I don't know who's doing it, I don't know what's happening there, but yeah, they're going to revisit Amityville. Look, it is what it is, and it gives me something to talk about, doesn't it? It gives us something to go, that's going to be shit, that. Oh, why they leave things alone? Well, if I didn't talk about these things, we wouldn't talk about these things, and we wouldn't give a shit, would we? But we love these genres, we love our movies. And as I've always said, anyone could come along and make a tremendous remake of something you think, no way, you can't do that, you can't touch that. And it comes out brilliant. Yeah, right now I can't think of an example, but it doesn't matter. It could happen, Do we need a prequel to this? Well, no. But if it turns out great, you've got to go, well. My thing about prequels, and this is where I despise what they've done with The First Omen and many others, is it takes the piss out of what you've seen before. Oh, and of course in there, Arcacia Stevenson made The First Omen. And she and her writers and producers also like, oh, no, well, this is what could have happened, and we're taking a sort of a sideline, so our story could run sideways, parallel to the Omen trilogy. Why? I'll tell you why. This stuff. Coinage, money, cash. Money. If their first film makes money and they get the green light for another movie, their second, oh well, more money, yeah, because they've got a guaranteed audience for it. And then, they could run alongside the originals. You're taking the piss out of the originals. That's what you're doing. I don't mind a prequel if it's well made, it's well told, and it actually genuinely fits into what we know and love. It flows in. It doesn't change things. It doesn't add extra bits. It just tells its own story, but manages to make it fit. And there's that glove again. Make it fit into. Makes it fit into the originals. And that can be done. A skillful writer. I said writer. When you get committee writers, things don't work. Too many chefs in the kitchen. Too many Indian chiefs in the teepee. It doesn't work. Too many ideas will be bounced around, and a particular vision will be chopped and changed and snapped and excised and reworked and revamped, and suddenly, they must get like a fugue, a fog of ideas. But how does that really happen? Because in the original movie, you got this. Well, why don't we give a twin sister? Ah, you've got it. There you go. Money in the bag. A twin sister. And then we can go off on our own tangents. Fucking hell. You know what? It's endless. Like the rain. It's absolutely endless. And I'm loving this little lens flare, to be honest, because it's giving me like a bit of a, sort of like a little sunbeam, you know, just like Cristiano Dior, no, the other one, is now basking in Spanish sun. All Europe got drenched in rain last week. Many people died. Roads are flooded. And it's happening here in the UK right now. I saw an imagery before of roads to, was it Bedford? An entire huge road, multi-lane, was under, I'm going to do this, under about 12 foot of water. And you can see the tops of cars which have been floating there. And that only happened this morning. That's the amount of rain that's hit this morning. And it's now, well, it's 1:05 in the afternoon. I don't know, folks. The great flood's going to come, seemingly. And we'll all be trying to climb into Noah's Ark. Where I am right now, in the Whittle, where the Kilt mansion is situated. Oh, drawbridge there. We have a moat. Yeah, we have loads of grounds. But we're the highest point of Wallasey, the Whittle Peninsula, the northwestern corner. We look out. Liverpool is that way. Well, behind you. Liverpool, Blackpool, Lancashire, Cumbria, all up that way. West coast of Scotland, that way. Isle of Man, there. Wales is there. The Irish Sea is there. And a bit of there as well. But where we are, we're the highest point. You come up our street, it's a very gentle incline from certain areas because it's already high to begin with. So it's a gentle incline. But then you drop down towards the River Mersey and all the New Brighton and all around that way. But you drop down that much. And when the big flood comes, we're going to be all right. We're going to be high and dry. Well, I'm going to be high. But I might not be so dry. Changeable. It's coming now. It's coming. Oh, climate change, Kilty. You're going to get on that now? No, I'm not. The fucking climate hasn't changed. The climate just does what the climate does. It's weather. It's just weather, folks. Weather happens. And I don't know what the period is. You have a cold phase, a wet phase, a hot phase, you know, and the weird thing is we're in a hot phase right now, but that's what brings about precipitation. Dost thou know? So it's going to happen regardless. And you know, all our fossil fucking fuels and all this and all our contamination and all this to the atmosphere and the ecosystem, the environment, we've ruined it. We have done a lot of damage, but nowhere near as much as what they make out. This happens anyway. Mother Nature goes through its cycles, its menstrual cycles. It gets hot flushes. We are now in probably its menopausal stage. Hot flushes, anger, depression, rain, and then hot again, you know. I'm not making light of this. This is just what happens. It is just nature. Please trust me. I'm a lapsed meteorologist. Oh, folks, let me know what you think about a Monday movie, fucking whatever I called it before. Just talking about movies that are up and coming, you know, something like that. Just to lighten the load. Greet the week. We're like, oh, we've got this coming out, and a couple of these are coming out very soon. The Substance is out right now. Go see it. I urge you. Gladiator 2 trailer, another trailer drops today. Gladiator 3, cough. Terrifier 3 is out 11th of October. Salem's Lot out 11th of October. Apartment 7A, the Rosemary's Baby prequel, is out on the 27th. That's in a few days' time. Lawrence of Arabia may never see the light of day. He hasn't written it, or maybe he has, but what he said was, this is Roland Emmerich, I'm just pushing this round potential distributors and filmmakers, and companies, studios, and see who bites. So clearly nobody has, because that's the latest news on it. So no one's bitten. So that may never happen. But Lawrence of Arabia, you haven't seen it, see it. It's cinema, and it's 70mm. It's proper big old school widescreen, as it was meant to be seen, and it's awesome, epic, and just it's a dream. The film is a gorgeous vista of incredible characters and bizarre, large-scale action. When I was a kid watching it, I was, can you have a bit more action, a bit more of the battle? There's a great big where he takes a seaport, which is British have said, Lawrence, don't do this. Just unite the tribes. Speak to I forgot the guy's name now. The Arabian chief, I forgot his name. And Falail, something like that. Speak to him, but he does, and he unites a bunch of them. Look, we can take that coastal port of the Turks, and great camera shots of a vast sweeping camel cavalry charge against the Turkish guns. Sweeps in, but as a kid I kind of wanted a bit more, like, and a bit more, and it doesn't do that. It shows you that the big charge, and then you kind of like, well, then it's the aftermath, the takeover, and his doors are swinging off and his body's lying everywhere, and there's the glistening blue sea. Yeah. Anyway, folks, I've said my piece. I'll turn this off now, if I can find the right button. Can you hear the rain? Can you hear the rain? Yeah? It is the deluge. Yeah? Or as Ridley Scott would say, it's the deluge, right? And who's to say that Napoleon didn't fire cannonballs at tempestuous rainstorms? Right? You weren't there, so fuck off. Ridley, you grumpy old twat, you. That's what you are. You are, mate, you are. You maybe have to command cameras and fucking crew and technicians and actors, but you're alright, fucking cantankerous old bum nuggets, aren't you? I'd love a chance to interview him. Oh, how great would that be? Kilty versus Ridley. And I love a huge bunch of his movies. They're my favourite movies. And yet he's made so much shit, and he's also been such a complete twat in the industry. Oh dear, I've almost forgotten about my toothache. Well, that was a mistake, wasn't it? Oh, there's a harsh reminder for you. I'm not doing this for effect, by the way. I was quite happy speaking and spieling and giving it loads without any pain at all, and now I've realised it ain't gone, and the whiskey hasn't deadened it. Oh God, it is what it is. Life, folks, goes on. To all my depressed mates out there, life does go on. Tomorrow is another day, and you have to view it that way. You haven't got a choice, really. You either cave in to like, oh, pain, misery, woe, but where do you go after that? It's not a good place, is it? You have to think that, oh, look, something better will come along tomorrow. and this pain will go, this worry will go, this anxiety will go. And obviously, if it doesn't go, seek treatment. Although in the UK right now, seeking treatment for any kind of emotional, mental health, or physical ailment, good luck to you. Because no one's going to see you, and no one cares. You've got 5 minutes with me. Yeah, but I've got fungal toes. I've got a dodgy knee. I've got a growth on my shoulder. I can't see straight out of this eye. I've got a strange rash, and okay, we'll deal with the fungal toes, and then you have to make another appointment for the rest of it. I don't go to doctors anymore. I don't. I refuse to. I don't go to hospitals unless I wake up in a hospital and I've been stitched back together. I will not go to a hospital. I refuse. Astrodyne, who sent this, Astrodyne, your friend of mine, Astrodyne, a traveller in time, sent this to me, and many, many other tremendous things. In fact, he sent that as well. Baphomet, the devil, as far as we're concerned. He works in Cardiff University Hospital, and he's a great lad, dedicated, and I doff my cap. If I was wearing a cap, I would. Ordinarily, I've got a cap somewhere around here to doff. Oh, I have. I doff my cap to you, sir. But I'm not waiting. I'm not sitting anywhere unless I wake up in hospital and I'm being sutured back together again. And even then, I'm not going to fucking lie there. And if I can crawl out, even just using my tongue and the one finger I have left remaining, I will get out of that fucking hospital and I will go home. Or the nearest pub, obviously. No, I don't trust the way things are run these days at all. They're run badly. Shouldn't have to fucking wait. But that's getting political again, Kilt-Man. Did you not remember telling the Celtic clan that you're not going to do any more of your magazine editions where you talked about the stories of the day? The stories of the day, the things in politics, the things happening, the weird and wonderful, spooky, weird, supernatural, UFOs and Bigfoot, all that kind of stuff. And the real life events, and give your opinion on it. Remember when it did those? The magazine editions went down a treat. Oh, got people talking. Can't do them now, can you? You can't do them. Why? Because you get cancelled. Cancelled, I say. So it's not fucking worth it. I want to, don't get me wrong, I want to, but I can't. So I'll just sit here and talk about movies and throw stuff in like this. Yeah, Starmer is a cunt. Rachel Reeves is a liar. A liar. They all are. I think they all are. All politicians are liars. The politicians that get in because of what they say they're going to do, and you vote for them, local, constituencies, they get in, and then suddenly, they're MPs, and they get into Parliament, and oh my God, suddenly they've got a bit of power, and they become a party bigwig. They will do whatever they can to get your vote, to secure them in. They'll promise all sorts. Oh, why am I saying it? Why? You're not fucking stupid. Why am I saying any of this? They'll do whatever they can to get in there. And once they get in there, they'll be just as bad, if not worse, than what you had prior. And they'll shit all over you. They will. And they'll lie, and if I hear another politician, there's the microphone, you're on camera. You said you weren't going to cut any, sort of allowances to the OAPs, and you've now cut all the winter fuel allowances to every single OAP in the UK. So they will not. They're going to freeze to death now because you've cut that. Why? Well, it's because of the black hole deficit that the Tories left behind for us. A lot of you worked for the banking system. You were finance fucking directors. You knew exactly whatever deficit there was before. So to use that now and then to give the unions a huge payout, you motherfuckers, I hate you. I genuinely hate you because whatever you say affects me and all the people around me. I can't speak for the rest of the country, but I'm pretty certain I'm right. It affects them as well. And you guys do it. You guys get elected for your manifesto and then you completely shit on everybody right away. Keir Starmer, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. You know you're not. You don't give two fucks. You're in power now. For how long? Massive public awareness and dislike and resentment. I hope you're removed from office unceremoniously, bloodily. No, oh, did I say that? No. You start making decisions for people which are going to make their lives a misery. You take the winter fuel allowance for OAPs, you take that away, which you are doing, and you're fucking steadfast in it, whilst giving the unions much more fucking money, and civil servants, which I once was, and I fucking despised, and I fucking walked out on. Well, I took redundancy, but I was about to quit anyway, which was the redundancy was a great thing at the last moment, but I was going to fucking walk because I despised the governments and the government structure and the hierarchy and the bureaucracy and the bullshit and lies that they came out with. So, was this supposed to be an uplifting video? Oops-a-daisy. Kilty got on one. Kilty's got on one. But I left because I despised what they were doing. I could see it. But these guys fucking lie continuously. We're going to give all the money to the fucking unions because we're Labour. We're the working man and the unions. Yeah, I was all for that. But you took it from the most vulnerable people. Going OAPs who cannot afford. They've got nothing. Their pension's shite. They've got nothing left. I'm like, I can't afford to heat myself. Are you culling the older nation? We all know we're getting older. You don't like that, do you? Because the older population don't give anything back. They do. They do. They eat out. They drink. Oh, they drink in pubs which you're closing. At the rate of, is it 40 a month are closing? Because they're making 12 pence profit on a pint. Because of all the fucking taxation that you're doing. 12 pence on a pint. So you're shitting on pubs and, you know, the hostelry, not hostelry, the celebratory fun thing of life. I can't think what the fucking word is now. But you've shit on them. You've curtailed them. You've still got 450,000 pubs around the UK. Check it. I think I'm right, actually. But they're closing down rapidly. The pub, a community hub. There's a rap there somewhere. People go in there, they tell their tales of woe, and they plot against governments. I've said this all the time. The whole thing with COVID, the rule of six, and they're going to be separated and all this shit. And that Harridan health fucking bitch who wore the Illuminati fucking eye that fucking single eye as a necklace, was on TV and answering phone calls on the British TV show this morning, the magazine show this morning. I reported on this at the time, and she said a phone call came in. Well, we're all in COVID bubbles, but my kid's got a 9th birthday party, but we're all in bubbles. So can't we go and have this isolated party? And this bitch, I wish I could remember her name, but I can't. And she went, oh no, you can't. No, you can't, because if you went there, we couldn't hear what you were saying. Fuck right off. She said it live on air, and I leapt off the settee. Yeah, fucking when I should have been working from home. I'm like, you're fucking lying. Oh, you bitch, you've given it away. You can't hear what people are saying. You don't like people in pubs. They're closing down pubs because people talk in pubs. And things happen. Revolutions happen. Listen to the fucking rain now. This is what happens. Don't like that. So, people meet in caves. They meet in bubbles. They meet in this, that, and well, we can't allow that, because suddenly there'll be a rise up. It's not bullshit. I'm ex-Marines. I know many ex-forces. I know many who are still forces. And we're all saying the same thing. It's gone completely wrong. Completely wrong. Lied to incessantly, and another agenda is happening. Oh, well, Kilty, you're talking shite because you just drink whiskey all the time. Yeah, I do. It's a fucking better thing than what's reality. It genuinely is. I watch everything. I keep in touch. I know many people, and sadly, all the conspiracy shit, well, a lot of it's crap, but too many of the bigger issues are genuine, because these are people that know they're dealing with it, and like, I can't say this, but no, that happened. That's genuinely going on. They are doing this. I'm hedging around things, because otherwise I'll get shit on again. You know. This is that fucking rain. What? Yes, it's Mother Nature. Yes. I know. I'm with you. It's Mother Nature. Just doing what Mother Nature does. But we're going to get this for 2 weeks, apparently. 2 weeks of it. I don't want all the fucking refugees and asylum seekers arriving, trying to cross our moat and storm our drawbridge. I don't want all them. You know, I'll have to bring in more fucking servants and put them on the battlements with the arrows. You can't have knives now. Oh, knives. Knife crime, epidemic in the UK. Knife crime is committed by mostly 90% to 95% kitchen knives, screwdrivers, box cutters, things that people always have. But no, they ban zombie knives, machetes, and bizarre samurai swords. Virtually no knife crime is committed with any of those things. Yes, they run around with them, but virtually no crimes committed with them. No, knife crime is committed with kitchen knives, steak knives, a fork. So, a massive ban on all these, horrible weapons. Oh, okay, fine. Is it going to stop knife crime? Really? You fucking think that? You delinquent, stupid sods in power. You legislation giving fucking assholes. You've done nothing. You're putting in Apocalypse Now, The Great Lie, you know, we cut him in half with a machine gun and we give him a band-aid. The whole thing about the US forces, you know, in Vietnam. I'm not going to go into all this. I've reviewed Apocalypse Now and I've talked about Vietnam a lot as well. But you know, the whole thing about like peace of mind and all that. Let's win the Vietnamese people over. But you know, you commit atrocities and then, oh my shit, what have we done here? Well, you know, and literally machine gunning people in half, and then what have we got to try to quickly give some kind of battlefield first aid, and then but nothing to do, get out. Well, we killed you or left you horribly injured, and we're gonna do something for you, and then gotta go, orders. And that's what this knife fucking new law legislation is going to do. Nothing, because there'll still be knife crime committed. They'll use something else. Well, as I said before, they use kitchen knives, steak knives all the time. That's what they fucking use, not bloody zombie knives and machetes. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. There are gangs that run around using these things. But there's not that many actual injuries committed by them. There isn't. It's not that way. The people that get killed and knifed to bits is done with little knives. Little knives. Well, Kilt-Man, big success there. Try to lighten the load, lift the spirits, and talk about movies to lighten the load. And oops a daisy, you went straight back into fucking politics and the world as it is. And the world as it is a load of shit, isn't it? I should do the magazine edition again, shouldn't I? Although, do I need to? I've got a few. The Monday movie madness mania fucking expose is going to give all of this in the aftermath. The mullet style, you know. Gurgly guts. I've got to eat. I'm not eating. No. I've had loads of whiskey as well, haven't I now? And it's still hurting. Fucking hell, it is. I don't think it's a tooth. I think it's the gum. In fact, I'm kind of hoping it's the gum. People are going, no, I've had a gum infection. It's the worst ever. Tooth is... No, I don't think so. I had this early on this year in the same region. And it was the filling... the tooth was cracked behind the filling. And that was giving me loads. So they took out the old filling, emergency. Took out the old filling and put a new filling in. And it's been okay. I wouldn't say it's been great. I've always been aware of this. But I've got a feeling that something's got in sort of underneath. Oh, it doesn't sound good, does it? So there's me hoping for like, oh, antibiotics will be great, you know, that sorts it out. No, it's going to be like, I'm going to take that entire jawbone out. Well, it might sink my big fat face down a little bit. Cheers, y'all. That dog thinks she's going out in this shit. Fuck that. I have to wear like a fucking deep sea, fucking deep dive suit to withhold all of that moisture. Anyway, folks, so for God's sake, let me know what you think about the substance. I think it's outstanding. Let me know what you think about what a Gladiator 3. Do you want that? Really? Do you? Why? Terrifier 3. Well, we're gonna get that. That's here very imminently. Salem's Lot. Yeah, I'm up for it. Apartment 7A. Let me know what you think. Lawrence of Arabia via Roland Emmerich. For real? For real. He's German, don't forget, as well. So his take on it could be slightly different. And it's called In Arabia. That's his idea. I don't think it's ever gonna come to fruition. I genuinely don't think it's gonna work. No one's gonna take it on board. It sounds too ambitious and like also something that no studio, no distributor, no company, TV show company is gonna like, oh yeah, that's gonna work, isn't it? Could be wrong. Could be wrong. I always want to be. I don't mind being proved wrong. Oh, Labour has got in now. And I was always Labour, believe it or not. But Labour doesn't mean Labour anymore. Labour is just, they're just Tories. They're the same, it doesn't matter what they are. But I've been proved wrong so many times. And now I don't believe anyone. I don't believe a fucking anything at all. Oh, Kilty, I'm going to be there at 5 o'clock. And there'll be whiskey in the bar for you. I don't fucking believe you. And I turn up at 5 o'clock, and there he is. Oh, whiskey in the bar. You go, oh, too late. That's great. But if you say the same thing again, I'll be here tomorrow with a whiskey in the bar for you at 5 o'clock. I'll be like, I don't fucking believe a word of that. That's bullshit. And that's the world that we have as a society created. We don't trust anything. We watch too much social media. We watch too much mainstream media, which is worse. Worse, because that's the doctored stuff. Oh, God, that's hurting now. Folks, you've seen me stick me thumb up me gob. And, it is what it is. And it's fucking raining. That's what it is right now. It's fucking raining big time. And I'm really, really not looking forward to going out and not. And this is against laying in ditches for hours and hours and hours. Literally staking out. I've got an observation point and I'm fucking watching something in this, and you got to switch off and not feel it. But it go no matter what fucking Gucci gear you've bought for yourself, it's still gonna get through. You're cold, you're wet, it's horrible. It's horrible. But no, there's a job at hand. I've got to keep myself switched on, motivated. But if something doesn't happen soon, please something happens soon, and then nothing happens and you get called to stand down. Oh dear, yeah. No, and that's not. Oh God. But you've had it, done it before. All your training is in this weather. They called in this special weather to train you. Apart from the Yanks, you don't get this weather at all unless you come over here and exchange. Then you experience it, don't you? Yes, you do. Oh yeah, you got North Carolina. Yeah, I know, but you don't get this. The European climate, which is this. It's fucking rain, wet, cold, very often windy, and sleet as well. Oh, sleet. And if you go further, you got fucking snow. You're in ice anyway, but you dress for that. That's different. You dress for snow and ice and cold. That's fine. But you go like sort of middle Europe, it's just fucking rain, and it's just it's horrible, fucking horrible. What a great champion and fighter I was, Oh no, Kilt-Man's. Oh, it's raining. Can't send Kilt-Man out. It'll get his hair wet. Oh my god. Turn him into a fucking afro, which it does. It does. Anyway. Those who've stuck with this, well, that looks wrong. That's massively misshapen, isn't it? And if you think about it, like Indy's fedora would be hugely battered and fucking misshapen. But I do suit a hat. You may disagree. I think I suit a hat. Definitely suits a hat. This may be a regular thing. The political stuff might not be. Although who knows? Because they just go off on a fucking tangent and never come back. Folks, in the meantime, when it's ever like, ooh, incessantly wet, lied to, shafted, cold, nefariously background plotted in between time, please keep it Kilty, keep it Celtic, and I'm going to see you all going slow now, going rusty. That's a great fucking snapshot there, right there. I look like something out of fucking Wolf Creek.